If the idea of futuristic aviation still seems many years away, it is time to take another look. Right now, aerospace engineers, visionary designers, and innovative aviation companies are creating extraordinary machines that erase the boundaries between aircraft, automobiles, premium travel, and what once seemed possible only in science fiction. Some are capable of operating from lakes and rivers. Others rise straight into the sky without requiring a runway. Several are being developed to transform crowded city streets into aerial highways. A handful are so radically different that they completely redefine our expectations of what an aircraft should look like. In this video, we are exploring some of the most remarkable flying vehicles, groundbreaking mobility concepts, and cutting-edge aviation technologies that are shaping the next generation of transportation. And believe me, a few of these creations make traditional commercial airplanes appear surprisingly outdated. Beginning with number 15, the Icon A5. While most airplanes are engineered with transportation as the primary objective, the Icon A5 places the experience of flying above everything else. This compact two-seat amphibious sport aircraft is designed for people who want much more than simply traveling from one location to another. It is intended for those seeking adventure, freedom, and an aviation lifestyle that feels closer to exploring the outdoors than following conventional flight routines. One of the first things that separates the Icon A5 from ordinary recreational aircraft is its ability to operate seamlessly from both paved runways and open water. One weekend you might depart from a local airport, while the next you could be landing on a peaceful mountain lake or flying along an isolated coastline that very few people ever have the chance to experience. That versatility gives the airplane a personality unlike almost anything else in its class. Its lightweight carbon fiber structure has been carefully engineered to combine strength, efficiency, and ease of operation. The folding wings are far more than an attractive design feature. They significantly reduce storage requirements, making it much easier for owners to transport the aircraft and avoid the expense of maintaining permanent hangar space. Inside the cockpit, the philosophy continues to break away from traditional aviation design. Instead of surrounding pilots with an intimidating collection of complicated controls, the layout takes inspiration from modern automobile interiors, creating an environment that feels intuitive, comfortable, and welcoming, particularly for newcomers entering sport aviation. Perhaps the defining element of the Icon A5, however, is its commitment to safety. The airplane features a spin-resistant airframe, systems that improve pilot awareness of angle of attack, and an optional Icon parachute system that can safely lower the entire aircraft during serious emergencies. In an industry where confidence and accessibility often determine whether someone chooses to fly, those innovations carry enormous value. Performance has never been about chasing record-breaking speeds or competing with executive business jets. That has never been the purpose of this aircraft. The Icon A5 was created to deliver an aviation experience that feels adventurous, personal, and surprisingly achievable. In a world where airplanes continue becoming more sophisticated and increasingly complicated, that refreshingly straightforward vision may be exactly what allows it to stand out. Number 14 introduces a remarkable creature that may have established the earliest foundation for flight millions of years before humans ever dreamed of building airplanes: Archaeopteryx. Modern aviation depends upon advanced computer simulations, wind tunnel testing, and highly precise engineering. Yet Archaeopteryx represents something even more remarkable: nature conducting one of its earliest experiments in mastering the challenge of flight. Living approximately 150 million years ago during the late Jurassic period, this extraordinary animal displayed characteristics that connected two vastly different stages of evolution. It possessed sharp teeth, clawed forelimbs, and a lengthy reptilian tail inherited from predatory dinosaurs, while at the same time featuring feathered wings and aerodynamic qualities that closely resembled those of modern birds. That unusual blend of traits is exactly why Archaeopteryx became one of the most influential fossil discoveries in scientific history. It was far more than an ancient skeleton. It provided some of the strongest evidence linking birds with their dinosaur ancestors, while giving researchers an invaluable opportunity to understand how powered flight may have first developed. What makes Archaeopteryx especially captivating is that it appears to represent aviation in its earliest prototype stage. It was neither fully refined nor perfectly efficient, but rather an evolutionary experiment that strongly resembles humanity and Apos' own first attempts at designing flying machines. Scientists still continue debating whether it mainly glided between trees, relied on brief bursts of powered flight, climbed with assistance from its wings, or combined multiple flight techniques depending upon its surroundings and survival needs. The arrangement of its feathers, its lightweight skeletal structure, and the design of its wings all suggest that nature had already begun optimizing lift, stability, maneuverability, and aerial control countless millions of years before engineers eventually described those same aerodynamic principles mathematically. Unlike the highly specialized birds of today, however, Archaeopteryx almost certainly faced important limitations, including shorter endurance, less stable flight characteristics, and a body that still needed to balance life on the ground with movement through the air. Those imperfections are exactly what make it so historically significant. Archaeopteryx was never meant to be the finished masterpiece. It represented the transition, the evolutionary prototype, and the biological evidence that the path toward flight was shaped through countless stages of experimentation, compromise, and gradual refinement by nature itself. Watching such a creature glide through prehistoric forests would have been like witnessing the very first successful demonstration of an idea that would eventually evolve from feathers and instinct into jet aircraft, spacecraft, and humanity and Apos' enduring determination to master the skies. Coming in at number 13 is a vehicle created to erase the long-standing divide between automobiles and airplanes, the Aeromobile 4.0. For generations, the idea of a flying car existed mainly in science fiction, futuristic artwork, and ambitious startup announcements. Aeromobile 4.0 is different because it represents a genuine engineering effort to transform that dream into a practical machine capable of functioning both on highways and in the sky. When driving, it resembles a high-end performance sports car more than a conventional aircraft, featuring a streamlined body that does more than create visual appeal. Every curve is designed to reduce aerodynamic drag, enhance stability, and allow the vehicle to transition efficiently from road mode into flight mode. That seamless conversion is one of its defining features because Aeromobile was never intended to be merely an airplane fitted with wheels. It was engineered from the ground up as a true dual-purpose transportation platform. Its propulsion system combines an internal combustion engine with electric assistance, reflecting the reality that modern battery technology still cannot provide the energy density necessary for practical personal aviation. Beneath its futuristic exterior lies an extraordinary engineering balancing act. The structure must be light enough for takeoff, durable enough to satisfy road safety regulations, aerodynamically efficient during flight, and comfortable enough for everyday driving outside an airport. Achieving all of those objectives simultaneously explains why so many flying car projects fail before reaching production. Aeromobile addresses those challenges through advanced composite construction, carefully optimized structural design, and a philosophy centered on versatility rather than outright performance. Naturally, compromises remain. Owners would still need to navigate aviation regulations, obtain pilot qualifications, maintain specialized servicing schedules, and prepare for a purchase price expected to exceed $1 million, depending on the final specification and production strategy. Even so, affordability has never been the primary goal. What truly makes Aeromobile 4.0 significant is its determination to demonstrate that a flying car can perform convincingly both as an automobile and as an aircraft without becoming inadequate at either role. Whether it ultimately serves as an exclusive luxury product or becomes an important milestone in the evolution of personal air transportation, Aeromobile 4.0 stands among the most credible and daring flying car concepts developed to date. Moving on to number 12, we find a concept determined to make the journey itself more memorable than the destination, aircraft skydeck. For many years, commercial aviation has concentrated on maximizing efficiency, increasing passenger capacity, reducing fuel consumption, and shortening travel times. Aircraft skydeck takes an entirely different direction by asking a simple yet compelling question. What if the greatest highlight of a flight was the view above the clouds? Developed by Wind Speed Technologies, this innovative proposal introduces a transparent observation dome mounted above the aircraft fuselage, offering an experience unlike anything available on today and Oppo's as commercial airliners. Instead of looking through a small side window, passengers would enjoy sweeping panoramic views extending almost completely around them, creating a perspective usually experienced only by military aviators or astronauts. Imagine watching the first light of sunrise spread across an endless blanket of clouds, seeing distant thunderstorms illuminate the horizon, or observing city lights glitter far below during an evening flight. That emotional connection to the sky is exactly what gives this concept its unique appeal. While airlines continue competing with upgraded seating, premium cabins, and increasingly sophisticated entertainment systems, aircraft sky deck shifts the focus toward the scenery itself, making the atmosphere outside the aircraft the centerpiece of the entire experience. Bringing such an idea to reality, however, requires much more than adding additional glass. Engineers must solve demanding problems involving structural strength, aerodynamic performance, cabin pressurization, emergency evacuation procedures, weight management, and the strict certification standards required throughout the aviation industry. Even a modest increase in aircraft weight directly influences fuel efficiency and operating expenses, making every design decision critically important. If those technical obstacles can be overcome, the possibilities become extremely attractive. Airlines could introduce entirely new premium travel products. Private aviation companies could provide unmatched sightseeing experiences, and passengers could enjoy an unprecedented level of immersion that conventional cabin layouts simply cannot match. Although critics argue that certification complexity, maintenance costs, and development expenses may prevent widespread adoption, many revolutionary aviation ideas have followed a similar path. Whether aircraft sky deck eventually becomes a commercial reality or remains a visionary proposal, it provides an exciting preview of a future where air travel is valued not only for reaching a destination, but also for restoring the sense of awe that first inspired humanity to fly. Taking the number 11 position is a concept that completely reimagines the relationship between aviation and luxury travel, AEROHT V2. While many futuristic transportation concepts concentrate on speed, efficiency, or urban convenience, AEROHT V2 pursues a far more imaginative vision by combining the sophistication of a superyacht with the limitless freedom of aerial travel. Designed by Lazzarini Design Studio, this remarkable concept resembles a luxurious floating resort suspended beneath a pair of enormous helium-filled airships rather than a traditional airplane. At first glance, it appears almost too extraordinary to exist outside the world of science fiction, yet its dramatic appearance is supported by a surprisingly logical engineering concept. Instead of relying entirely upon aerodynamic lift like conventional airplanes, AEROHT V2 uses lighter-than-air technology to support much of its mass. This approach greatly reduces the energy required to remain airborne while allowing passengers to enjoy slower, smoother, and more scenic journeys. That distinction separates it from nearly every other aviation project currently envisioned. Rather than emphasizing rapid transportation, AEROHT V2 transforms the voyage itself into the ultimate luxury experience. The proposed interior includes elegant guest suites, expansive observation lounges, entertainment spaces, panoramic viewing areas, premium accommodations, and spacious living quarters designed to host approximately 20 passengers on extended journeys above oceans, coastlines, and isolated natural landscapes. The concept also incorporates hybrid propulsion technology together with sustainable energy solutions, reflecting the increasing importance of environmentally responsible transportation in the years ahead. Naturally, a project of this magnitude faces significant obstacles. Development expenses would likely be enormous, certification processes remain uncertain, weather conditions could impose operational limitations, and long-term commercial viability is still open to debate. Some critics also note that its relatively slow cruising speed compared with conventional aircraft may reduce its practical appeal. Even so, those limitations are offset by a level of exclusivity and luxury that neither private jets nor traditional superyachts can currently provide. In many respects, AEROHT V2 is not simply about moving people from one place to another. It represents an attempt to redefine the very meaning of luxury travel. Whether it eventually progresses beyond the concept phase or remains an ambitious vision, AEROHT V2 continues to rank among the most imaginative and visually captivating transportation ideas ever proposed, illustrating how aviation, hospitality, marine design, and futuristic engineering could one day unite to create an entirely new class of travel unlike anything experienced before. Moving on to number 10, we have a machine that could be much closer than many people expect to making the flying car a practical part of everyday life, the air car. For decades, engineers, inventors, and automotive manufacturers have imagined a future where commuters escape traffic simply by taking off into the sky. Yet most of those ambitious ideas have remained limited to digital animations, promotional concepts, or early-stage prototypes. The air car breaks away from that pattern because it has already demonstrated something that many rivals are still working toward: the ability to function successfully both as a road vehicle and as a genuine aircraft. Developed by Klein Vision, the air car transforms from an elegant sports car into a fully operational airplane through an automated system that unfolds its wings and extends the tail surfaces. The entire transition requires only a few minutes and demands very little effort from the operator. What truly distinguishes the air car is not only its ability to transform, but the fact that every aspect of its design prioritizes real-world practicality instead of futuristic showmanship. On public roads, it performs much like a modern performance automobile. Once airborne, it behaves as a certified-style aircraft capable of completing legitimate cross-country journeys. This combination directly addresses one of the greatest inconveniences of private aviation: the requirement to travel to an airport before the flight even begins. By integrating both transportation methods into a single vehicle, the air car presents a compelling vision of a future where personal mobility becomes far more convenient and adaptable. The program has already completed hundreds of successful flights, takeoffs, and landings while reaching significant certification achievements that many competing flying car projects have not yet accomplished. Lightweight construction, carefully refined aerodynamics, and advanced engineering allow the vehicle to remain effective both on the road and in the air without becoming excessively heavy or mechanically complicated. Naturally, several obstacles still remain: regulatory approval, airport infrastructure, pilot licensing, specialized maintenance, and an expected purchase price in the several $100,000 range mean the air car is unlikely to become an everyday consumer vehicle in the immediate future. Some observers also remain skeptical that flying cars will ever become widespread because of concerns involving airspace management and operational safety. Even so, those challenges do not diminish what the air car has already achieved. Rather than existing as another futuristic concept, it stands as one of the strongest demonstrations that personal air mobility is evolving into a practical branch of aerospace technology instead of remaining confined to science fiction. Whether flying cars eventually become commonplace or continue serving a specialized market, the air car has already shown that the dream is rapidly becoming reality. Landing at number 9 is the Colombian Cricri. In aviation, appearances can be remarkably misleading, and no aircraft illustrates that better than the Colombian Cricri, widely regarded as the smallest twin-engine airplane ever built. Designed by the French engineer Michel Colomban, this tiny aircraft may resemble an oversized model airplane at first glance, but beneath its compact dimensions is a highly capable flying machine created around efficiency, agility, and the simple enjoyment of flight. Thanks to its lightweight design, modest size, and straightforward assembly, transporting and storing the aircraft is significantly easier than with most conventional airplanes. Owners can tow it on a trailer, keep it in relatively small storage areas, and avoid many of the logistical challenges that usually accompany aircraft ownership. Its twin engines are mounted close to the aircraft's centerline, creating another particularly interesting advantage. Under applicable regulations, certain versions may be operated by pilots holding single-engine qualifications, highlighting the clever engineering behind this unconventional design. Despite its remarkably small footprint, the Colombian Cricri is capable of reaching speeds of approximately 220 km per hour while offering a range of nearly 460 kilometers, depending upon the specific configuration. It is also exceptionally maneuverable, approved for aerobatic flight, and constructed using lightweight aluminum together with specialized structural components that maximize performance without introducing unnecessary complexity. More than simply an unusual aircraft, the Colomban Cricri serves as proof that groundbreaking innovation does not always arrive in large, expensive packages filled with sophisticated technology. Sometimes, it comes in an airplane compact enough to fit comfortably inside an ordinary garage. Breaking into number 8 is the Cirrus Vision Jet. Owning a private jet has traditionally been associated with enormous expense, complicated flight systems, and demanding operational requirements. The Cirrus Vision Jet was developed with an entirely different objective, making personal jet ownership more accessible while preserving both capability and a premium flying experience. Powered by a single turbofan engine and built around a lightweight composite airframe with its distinctive VTOL design, this aircraft is intended for owners seeking authentic jet performance without moving into the world of large corporate business aircraft. The Vision Jet is capable of cruising at approximately 345 miles per hour while covering distances approaching 2,000 kilometers, making it well suited for regional business travel, family trips, and efficient point-to-point transportation without many of the inconveniences associated with commercial airline schedules. Inside the cabin, passengers are greeted by a contemporary, spacious interior designed to accommodate 5 adults and 2 children. Large panoramic windows flood the cabin with natural light, creating an open and welcoming atmosphere rarely found in aircraft of comparable size. Perhaps the feature that has become most closely associated with the Cirrus Vision Jet, however, is its dedication to safety. Like several other aircraft produced by the company, it comes equipped with the Cirrus Airframe Parachute System, a full aircraft emergency recovery system capable of lowering the entire airplane safely to the ground during catastrophic situations. That single innovation has dramatically changed how many prospective owners view the safety of personal jet aviation. The Cirrus Vision Jet was never intended to compete directly with massive executive aircraft or ultra-long-range corporate platforms. Instead, it represents a fresh interpretation of what modern personal jet travel can become by combining performance, comfort, and advanced safety into a package designed to make private aviation more approachable than ever before. Coming in at number 7 is the Jetoptera J2000. Many futuristic aircraft attempt to capture attention by adding larger battery packs, increasing the number of rotors, or refining aerodynamic styling. But the Jetoptera J2000 takes a far more unconventional path by completely reimagining the way an aircraft produces thrust. Developed as a high-speed vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, this ambitious platform is intended to combine the flexibility of vertical operations with compact dimensions, cruise speeds approaching 200 miles per hour, and an estimated operating range of nearly 400 miles. Those specifications are already impressive for a next-generation personal mobility aircraft, but the most revolutionary element lies within its propulsion system. Rather than depending entirely upon traditional rotating propellers or rotor assemblies, Jetoptera is developing its patented fluidic propulsion technology. This innovative concept generates thrust by using advanced fluid dynamics and has the potential to reduce mechanical complexity, lower noise levels, and improve efficiency compared with many conventional propulsion systems. If this technology fulfills its promise, it could fundamentally reshape the future of aviation because excessive noise, demanding maintenance, limited efficiency, and operating costs continue to represent major obstacles to widespread urban and regional air mobility. Whether it ultimately serves as an advanced air taxi, a premium personal aircraft, or a fast regional transportation platform, the Jetoptera J2000 represents an ambitious effort to solve tomorrow and Oppo's aviation challenges by reinventing the technology that powers flight rather than simply improving familiar hardware. Claiming the number 6 position is the Joby Aviation eVTOL. Traffic congestion has become such a serious challenge in cities around the world that aviation companies are now developing entirely new transportation systems designed to move commuters above crowded streets. Among the leading contenders is the Joby Aviation eVTOL, a fully electric aircraft created to bring urban air mobility into everyday reality. Built to carry one pilot together with 4 passengers, the aircraft employs 6 electric motors and vertical takeoff capability, allowing it to operate without the runways required by conventional airplanes in densely populated metropolitan areas. Joby is targeting flight speeds close to 200 miles per hour while offering an operational range of approximately 100 miles. Performance figures intended to dramatically reduce regional travel times that often stretch into hours because of heavy traffic. Impressive performance, however, is only part of the company and AEROHT's broader strategy. Joby Aviation has devoted significant resources to minimizing aircraft noise, advancing regulatory certification, expanding operational capacity, and building the complete ecosystem needed to support commercial air taxi services. Developing the aircraft itself is only one piece of the puzzle. Supporting infrastructure, government approval, passenger confidence, and sustainable operating economics are all equally essential for creating a successful urban air mobility network. That comprehensive approach explains why Joby Aviation continues to attract strong interest from both the aerospace industry and the transportation sector. Rather than presenting electric vertical flight as a distant futuristic vision, the Joby Aviation eVTOL demonstrates a practical effort to deliver cleaner, quieter, and significantly faster transportation within real cities. Holding the number 5 spot is XPENG. Not every revolutionary transportation concept is centered on increasing speed, improving aircraft performance, or transforming urban mobility, and XPENG illustrates that idea on an extraordinary scale. Conceived by Lazzarini Design Studio, this massive yacht envisions an enormous floating city that blends luxury living, sustainable technology, and worldwide travel into a single self-contained structure. Inspired by the shape of a giant sea turtle, the concept measures approximately 1,800 feet in length, while its expansive side structures extend nearly 2,000 feet across, placing it in a category far beyond the dimensions of conventional marine engineering projects. According to the proposal, the vessel would accommodate approximately 60,000 residents and guests within a vast collection of private villas, luxury apartments, hotels, shopping districts, entertainment venues, marinas, aircraft hangars, heliports, and recreational facilities. Rather than functioning solely as a means of transportation, XPENG is envisioned as an independent floating metropolis capable of traveling across the world and AEROHT's oceans. One of the concept and AEROHT's most compelling features is its commitment to sustainability. The design proposes combining solar power, wind energy, and wave-generated electricity in pursuit of a zero-emission operating model. Naturally, transforming such an ambitious vision into reality would require overcoming extraordinary engineering challenges, securing unprecedented financial investment, and developing entirely new construction and infrastructure solutions. Those realities explain why XPENG currently exists as a visionary design study rather than an imminent commercial project. Even so, it offers a remarkable glimpse into how future transportation concepts are increasingly merging with environmental responsibility, large-scale engineering, and entirely new interpretations of what mobility can become. Entering at number 4 is the Terrafugia TF2. While many urban air mobility projects concentrate on designing more advanced aircraft, the Terrafugia TF2 takes a much broader view by rethinking the entire travel experience through a modular transportation system. Rather than expecting passengers to switch repeatedly between separate vehicles, terminals, and transportation networks, the TF2 introduces a 3-component platform consisting of an electric vertical takeoff aircraft, a detachable passenger capsule, and a purpose-built ground vehicle that function together as a single coordinated system. The concept is both straightforward and remarkably ambitious. Instead of unloading passengers every time the mode of transportation changes, the passenger pod itself could move effortlessly between road and air, creating a continuous travel experience from departure to destination. In heavily populated cities where congestion and infrastructure limitations frequently slow transportation to a crawl, eliminating those interruptions could provide tremendous value. The Terrafugia TF2 is designed to cruise at speeds of approximately 170 miles per hour while offering an operational range of about 300 miles through a hybrid electric propulsion system developed with future electrification upgrades in mind. Flexibility and safety remain at the heart of the design thanks to distributed electric propulsion, the ability to operate from a variety of landing locations, lightweight carbon fiber construction, and an architecture prepared for the eventual introduction of autonomous capabilities. Whether systems like the TF2 ultimately reshape urban transportation or remain specialized solutions for select markets, the concept reflects a growing shift in transportation philosophy. The future may depend less upon building faster vehicles and more upon creating intelligent systems that make every stage of the journey feel smooth, connected, and effortless. Taking the number 3 position is the Lockheed Ringwing. For generations, aircraft designers have relied upon familiar wing configurations, which is exactly why the Lockheed Ringwing immediately captures attention with its unconventional appearance. Instead of extending traditional wings outward from each side of the fuselage, this experimental concept curves the wing structure backward until it connects near the tail, creating a continuous ring-shaped aerodynamic design. The unusual layout is not simply an artistic exercise intended to look futuristic. Engineers developed the concept with the goal of improving aerodynamic performance by increasing lift, reducing drag, and enhancing stability during demanding flight conditions such as strong crosswinds. If those objectives can be achieved, the result could include greater fuel efficiency, more flexible operating capabilities, and smoother handling compared with conventional aircraft designs. Standing more than 75 feet tall while maintaining a relatively compact operating footprint, the Lockheed Ringwing also suggests the possibility of operating from shorter runways, potentially opening access to locations where aviation infrastructure is currently limited. Experimental aircraft frequently face enormous obstacles because unconventional designs must overcome complex aerodynamic, structural, certification, and operational challenges before proving themselves in practical service. Even so, the Lockheed Ringwing demonstrates that meaningful progress in aviation often begins by questioning design principles that have remained largely unchanged for decades. Moving into number 2 is the Supernal S, A2. For years, companies developing urban air mobility have promised transportation that is cleaner, quieter, and dramatically faster than traditional commuting. But the Supernal S, A2 enters the competition with one significant advantage that many competitors lack. The industrial expertise and manufacturing support of Hyundai combined with a development strategy focused on realistic commercial deployment. Designed as a fully electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft for busy metropolitan environments, the Supernal S, A2 relies on 8 tilting rotors to provide both vertical lift and efficient forward flight. The aircraft is expected to cruise at approximately 120 miles per hour while operating at altitudes near 1,500 feet above city traffic. Those performance targets are specifically intended to address one of the greatest frustrations of modern urban life: daily commutes that consume countless hours while remaining highly unpredictable. Inside, the cabin has been engineered for maximum versatility, allowing operators to quickly reconfigure the interior for passenger transportation, cargo missions, airport shuttle services, or urgent logistics operations. Performance alone, however, will not determine the success of urban air mobility. Long-term viability also depends upon strict certification, dependable daily operation, public confidence, supporting infrastructure, and uncompromising safety standards. For that reason, Supernal has placed strong emphasis on meeting international aviation regulations from the earliest phases of development. The Supernal S, A2 is not simply another futuristic concept designed to attract attention. It represents a serious effort to become one of the leading aircraft in the race to bring electric urban aviation into large-scale commercial operation. And finally, claiming the number 1 position is the XPENG AEROHT land aircraft carrier. Just when it appears that every possible interpretation of the flying car has already been explored, XPENG AEROHT introduces a concept that completely changes the conversation. Rather than forcing a single machine to function equally well as both an automobile and an aircraft, this innovative design pairs a large modular ground vehicle with a detachable electric aircraft stored inside its rear compartment. The result resembles a personal aviation launch platform far more than a conventional flying car. Developed by XPENG and APOS, Advanced Mobility Division. The land aircraft carrier completely reimagines how future travelers could gain access to flight without relying upon permanent airports, complicated infrastructure, or traditional aviation facilities. The six-wheel ground carrier serves as a capable transportation platform for ordinary roads while securely transporting a compact piloted electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft ready for independent flight operations. By separating the driving and flying functions into two specialized vehicles, the concept overcomes one of the greatest weaknesses found in many flying car designs: the challenge of making one machine perform equally well in two completely different environments. The detachable aircraft employs distributed electric propulsion, multiple lifting rotors, and intelligent flight assistance systems designed to simplify operation while delivering quieter and cleaner performance than many conventional light aircraft. Those advancements are particularly significant as advanced air mobility continues addressing concerns related to urban noise, operational complexity, infrastructure requirements, and public acceptance. What makes the XPENG AEROHT land aircraft carrier especially compelling is that it does not rely solely upon futuristic styling or ambitious promotional claims. Instead, it presents a carefully integrated transportation ecosystem where road travel and personal aviation complement one another instead of competing for engineering compromises. Whether it ultimately remains an exclusive premium mobility solution or becomes an important milestone on the road toward next-generation transportation, the XPENG AEROHT land aircraft carrier stands as one of the boldest demonstrations of how future mobility could seamlessly connect highways with the skies. What an extraordinary collection of aircraft, visionary concepts, and groundbreaking engineering innovations redefining the future of aviation. From the versatile Icon A5 and the sophisticated Cirrus Vision jet to advanced electric air taxis, modular mobility platforms, and revolutionary propulsion technologies, one conclusion becomes impossible to ignore: the future of transportation is arriving faster than ever before. Now we would love to hear your opinion. Which of these incredible machines impressed you the most, and which one would you personally want to experience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications so you never miss our next exploration into the future of aviation. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on the sky.